May 27, 1941. In the freezing waters of the North Atlantic, the most powerful battleship ever built by Nazi Germany was about to face its final hour. 700 enemy aircraft and warships surrounded it from every direction. It was outnumbered, outgunned, and sinking. But the Bismarck refused to go down without a fight. This is the story of the most legendary last stand in naval history. To understand why the Bismarck's final battle was so extraordinary, you first need to understand what this ship actually was. Built in Hamburg, Germany, and launched in 1939. The Bismarck was not just a warship, it was a floating fortress. At over 250 meters long, that's longer than 2 football fields, and weighing 50,000 tons when fully loaded. The Bismarck was the largest and most feared battleship in the world. Its armor was up to 32 centimeters thick, strong enough to stop almost any shell fired at it. It carried 8 massive 38-centimeter guns, capable of firing shells the size of a car, over 35 kilometers away. And it could reach speeds of 30 knots. That's 56 kilometers per hour. Faster than most ships of its size had any right to be. Adolf Hitler personally called it unsinkable, the pride of the German Navy. A weapon of pure dominance. But the British had other plans. In May 1941, the Bismarck set sail on its very first combat mission, Operation Rheinübung. Its goal: break into the Atlantic Ocean and destroy British supply ships carrying food and weapons to England. If the Bismarck succeeded, Britain could be starved into surrender. Sailing alongside it was the heavy cruiser Prince Eugen. Together they were a terrifying pair. But British intelligence was watching. On May 21st, a British spy plane spotted the Bismarck hiding in a Norwegian fjord. The alarm was raised. Every available British warship was ordered. Find it, stop it, sink it. The British sent their most powerful ships to intercept. Leading the charge was HMS Hood, the largest warship in the Royal Navy, the pride of Britain, a ship that had served for over 20 years and had never been defeated. On the morning of May 24th, in the cold waters of the Denmark Strait, the two forces finally met. The guns opened fire at 5:52 in the morning. The sea lit up like daylight. HMS Hood fired first. Its massive shells screamed through the air toward the Bismarck. But the Bismarck fired back with terrifying precision. At 6 a.m., just 8 minutes into the battle, a single Bismarck shell found its mark. It pierced straight through Hood's deck and reached the ammunition storage below. What happened next shocked the entire world. HMS Hood, 262 meters long, 42,000 tons, exploded and sank. In less than 3 minutes, of its 1,418 crew members, only 3 survived. When Winston Churchill received the news, he was silent for a long time, then said one thing: sink the Bismarck. Within hours, the entire Royal Navy was hunting a single ship. The Bismarck tried to escape to occupied France, where German forces could protect it. But during the battle, it had taken damage. Its fuel tanks were leaking. It was leaving a trail of oil across the ocean. like a wounded animal bleeding through the forest on the night of May 26th. British torpedo bombers from the aircraft carrier Ark Royal launched a desperate attack through terrible weather. One torpedo hit the Bismarck's rudder. The rudder was jammed. The Bismarck could no longer steer. It began moving in circles, unable to escape, unable to fight back properly. By morning, the Bismarck was completely surrounded. Dozens of British warships closed in from every direction. There was no escape. At 8:47 a.m. on May 27th, 1941, the final battle began. British battleships HMS Rodney and HMS King George V opened fire with everything they had. Shell after shell slammed into the Bismarck. Its guns were destroyed one by one. Its deck was on fire. Hundreds of its crew were dead. But the Bismarck kept fighters, even as it was sinking, even as its guns fell silent one by one. Its crew refused to surrender. At 10:09 a.m., with the ship beyond saving, German sailors opened the flood valves themselves. They chose to sink their own ship, rather than let the British take it. At 10:36 a.m., the Bismarck disappeared beneath the North Atlantic, taking over 2,000 of its crew with it. Out of 2,221 men, only 114 survived. The Bismarck had been at sea for only 8 days. Its first mission was its last. Today, the wreck of the Bismarck lies nearly 5 kilometers deep on the floor of the North Atlantic Ocean, discovered in 1989 by oceanographer Robert Ballard, the same man who found the Titanic. It remains one of the most visited deep-sea wrecks in history. A reminder that no matter how powerful something is, no matter how unsinkable it seems, the ocean always wins. If you want to see more epic naval battles and ship stories, subscribe to Ship vs. Ocean and let us know in the comments. Which battle should we cover next? See you in the next one.